What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build for the final time in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 1. Chapter 4 Season 2 is next season, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. If you guys do enjoy this video, if you enjoy any of my videos, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and if you would like to support me, use creator code EvolveJake when getting next season's Battle Pass. It's underneath the webcam at all times, and I hope you guys find this video helpful, informative. Let's get right into it. Alright, for this game, we're going to be going Anvil, I guess, just of the POIs. This is the one that's likely to be the most hot. See if we can spectate someone that's a little more aggro. And just to mix it up, I think the last one we landed faulty because of the most wanted event, which was pretty crazy. We'll see what we can get into here. We actually have a good drop, and I really like landing at this place for all of Anvil, like throughout the entirety of Chapter 4, but it's even better now with the Oathbound chest being 100% spawn rate in this week's update. It's a guaranteed Oathbound chest right here. I'm going to let this Gwen eliminate us and take our crown. I do not know how to say this guy's name. Esteban Naraval, I think. It's hard to say when something's one word, like where the break is supposed to be, you know? We'll see what they get into. They did get a hammer from their Oathbound chest, which is great. They have some slap juice they can consume to get to even more HP. They get full. Their weapons really suck, though. They only have a FAMAS, and that's it. You wouldn't use the chug splashes, just probably to get to max health as fast as possible since they weren't happy with their loot. It does have a hammer, so you can reposition pretty easily to one of the other buildings. That's a shotgun. That's great. Shotgun FAMAS isn't the best combo, but it's certainly better than not having a shotgun at all, I think. He knows this player is running up to him, so he's just going to continue to play a staircase and then get the right shoulder peek shot on this player. Reacted a little bit slow, but this should still be a kill. Nice. Now he has a pistol, so he has... I would assume he's going to pick that up. Yeah. So you can use pistol, shotgun, and then FAMAS as your AR. This is like an okay loadout. Like, he could definitely play the game. Sounds like there's some people fighting at the house to his right, which is another spot where an Oathbound chest spawns. Doesn't seem like too many people landed Anvil for this game. Somewhat slow to react to that player walking up the stairs, but how they held that was nice. They knew someone was coming. They had the right shoulder peek there. They could just hop on him, get an easy shotgun shot. And they could even just shotgun shoot and then back up, and then they wouldn't even have had to use, like, pump FAMAS. They chose to play it a little more aggressive. They get the free kill. To get the DMR, are they going to take that? They will take that instead of the FAMAS. There's a white red eye there. Personally, I would take that over the DMR. Some players like the DMR. I'm not one of them. But this loadout is fine. Interestingly enough, they're going to go with the RPG instead of the DMR, so maybe they're going to play a bit more aggro, and they don't really see the need for a medium-range weapon. I don't like doing that as much just because, like, opening fights with your AR tags just makes things very convenient. If you have somebody hammering away from you, the AR is nice to have. If you have somebody using the Rift augment to get away from you, it's nice to have. And then also with these shotguns hitting so hard, I've talked about this so many times, but the Thunder Pump is so good, and it hits so hard that... just hammering onto somebody or having a close range fight with both of you at full HP could be pretty random. Like, even if you end up winning the fight, them getting a shotgun or two, like, them getting a shotgun shot or two off, like, can just, like, grief your game, even if they don't eliminate you. So I really like having, like, starting fights with opening tags and then kind of pushing in close with the hammer. That way it's a little less random. Hopefully can kill them on, like, my first shotgun shot. See what they're going to do here now. They haven't gotten their augments yet, which maybe they just don't care to get them. Okay, now they're doing it, I think. Unfortunately, we can't see what augments they get while we're spectating, which it stinks because, like, the augments were a huge addition in Chapter 4 Season 1, and I would kind of like to talk about, like, how these players choose their augments and, like, how it kind of, like, synergizes well with the rest of their loadout. They ended up going for big pots over any of the other heals, which personally I don't think it's the play for zero builds at this point in time. It's very hard to get slow heals off when somebody is pressuring you, and with chug splashes, just that brief time where you maybe get a splash or two off can be the difference maker in a fight. Whereas, like, this player, they need to eliminate the person they're fighting and then have 5 uncontested seconds to get their big pot off. You guys know how common third parties are this season with, like, the smaller map and the hammer. This door is open and it shouldn't be. Maybe it's just bugged. But usually those doors are motion activated, so you want to be careful there. There is chug splashes in the hollow chest far right. I personally would take that over the big pots here. But they don't seem to mind the big pots. We'll see if that comebacks to bite them. They're going to use this drone to scout. I'm not a huge fan of this. Wow, we can't even spectate them. I was not aware that that's a thing. That's unfortunate. We just got kicked out of the person I was spectating. I don't know what to do now. This is weird. But I just got kicked out of the person I was spectating because of the drone. I did not know that was the thing. As we can spectate Fifth Have FN here with the Travis Scott scan. He's using Thunder Pump and Pistol. He also has big pots, but he does have the slap juice as some sort of a fast heal. I think fast heals are very important in zero build. Wow, the player we were initially spectating just eliminated somebody. Big pots should be getting reworked next season, though, to function somewhat similar to... is this his AI? I'm confused. I guess it is the Aura's shell. But the big pots are going to function somewhat similar to how Med Mist does, where you use a percentage of it. This Travis Scott's dead here, I think. He ended up dropping his big pots for splashes. And you see, like, the difference that makes. He didn't really give up any time there, but he gets 40 HP back. And if this other player was more aggro in the fight or better at pressuring their damage, then that little bit of damage he got back from the splashes might have mattered. And that's why they're just, like, the premier healing item for zero builds. Next season might be different, though, with them reworking big pots to function somewhat similar to Med Mist, where you get an amount of HP based on how long you use it. I could see big pots being good then. But just as it is now, you either need 5 seconds alone or you get nothing. And that's not great. It sounds like they're fighting out there. He should maybe try to go third party this. I don't really know where they are. There's 2 fights going on. There's one at this tree here, and then there's one deep right. He's gonna fight this person in the bush. This is a kill. Oh my gosh, I don't know how they lost that fight. I thought that was a kill for sure. This player should be dead, though. Like I was just talking about with the third parties, it's hard to get slow heals off. Even if he had chug splashes there, it doesn't really matter. But that kind of emphasizes my point of just how difficult it is to get alone time this season, especially once you get deeper into the game and the zone is smaller. You don't want to be relying on a slow healing item when it's like a life or death situation. And that's why I always recommend taking the fast heals. This player is going for similar loadout, shotgun, pistol, and then double heal on the hammer. I think this can be quite good. Nothing bad to say about it. If I wanted to use double heals or double hammer, this is what I would use. Shotgun pistol is my 2 weapons, or shotgun scar, and then either double heals or double hammer. It's quite good. Oh no. What am I watching? You could have been chug splashing this entire time. He was like very concerned about getting the minis off, which might end up working out for him. He might be fine here. But he could have been splashing that entire time while he was sliding and stuff. Like, you can use the splashes while moving. And had the person he's fighting been more relevant in the fight, it would have come back to cost him. That's one of the nice things about chug splashes, is you can use them while moving and you don't really give up any sort of time or anything. And just go ahead and use those heals. You don't want to be like too greedy about how you're using them in a life or death situation. Somehow they get that kill. I don't know what happened there, because when we initially started spectating this player, I thought they were like a solid, you know, good player. But that fight was really sloppy. And the person they fought, I don't think was playing particularly well at all. And that kind of goes to show what I was talking about earlier in the video, where you want to open with mid-range tags because of how lethal these shotguns are. Both times he had that kind of like 50-50 close range fight with that player, they both took ridiculous amounts of damage, and it really could have gone in either way. And if there was a third party, I think he's surely dead there. And that's why I really like just opening a fight with AR tags and then hammering onto them and finishing them that way. If you're 250 health and the opponent is 250 health and y'all are trading shots with the Thunder Shotgun and trading spray, it's not that likely to work out in your favor. Ends up going with the X-Cal here. If you're really good with the X-Cal, this could certainly be like a medium to long range replacement. I don't really use it myself, but it's solid, and it definitely has like some utility of like being able to flush people out of cover or out of bushes with the like the explosive aspect of it. Person on this hill. I think he's making the right play by not hammering here, because if he's hammering, he draws more attention to himself. He messed up his hammer there, but it was fine. Like, if he got to, like, if he had hammered too early, then the player on the hill would have no news there. But he, like, got close to the hill before hammering. I think that was, like, a good decision. It ends up not mattering, but it could have, you know? We're almost top 10 here. Wow, this is a big zone for top 10. I had a game, this was before the most wanted update left. I got, like, I ended up getting 4th in the game, and it was 2nd zone, and I was like still fighting for the vault at faulty. Like, that was just how fast people died. Like, these zero build games can die out so fast if you have like a few aggro players in the lobby. Nice, he hits the XCal shot. You want to hammer on this. He hasn't taken any real damage here. It was just overshield. So I think after hitting that shot, you definitely want to hammer on it. Whereas now he's allowed this opponent's time to heal. The opponent's overshield has come back. The early damage he got is gone, and he's going to push onto it now at a not opportune time, and it's going to cost him. That is what I was talking about. You want to take advantage of your early tags. I don't really know what happened there, because they got the early tag, and now this player's doing take the L, rightfully so. But they got the early tag, and then waited until this person could have healed to push, rather than getting the early tag and then immediately going on it. And that like slight hesitation on going on it just completely cost them the game, I think. And it just completely negated their early damage because of the way the overshield system works, and because of like we were talking about with Chug Splash in the game pass field. This is a bad spot to be. I think this player's dead here. They got a bunker. They can maybe turn this fight, but I think it's going to be difficult. I think after getting that kill on this person, they should have just immediately got out of here. They maybe win this. Oh, dang, GG's. That sucks. I would have liked to spectate that player. They seemed like a very, like that Met B person, the ski skin. They seemed like a solid player, but that was just such a bad spot to be in. This is a questionable loadout here. This person's using the infantry rifle. I think the infantry rifle can be good. I think if the red eye wasn't in the game, it's probably what I would use. But like with the red eye in the game, I prefer it. But like the infantry rifle has been a solid weapon for a long time. And the TTK on it is ridiculous if you hit your shots, but it's just not as convenient to hit your shots with it as it is something like the red eye or like the striker burst rifle or the MK7. Like if there's a solid first person weapon in the game, I think I will always prefer that to the third person weapons at this point in time. This player's in a tough spot here because they don't have heals. There is a heal vending machine up there. There's also a fair amount of coolers over to their left over here at that riverbed, but there's likely to be players rotating in from that side. But they need to get heals here. I feel like this is one thing a lot of players struggle with is they get to a point like this in the game, and they're in a bad spot here. They have no heals, and like not having heals is not good, and they're not full health either. And so what a lot of players do is kind of like what this player is doing, where they just hide for like prolonged periods of time and do nothing. And maybe they get a refresh here and end up winning the game because of it. But at the same time, I would rather take a risk if I'm this player. I would rather go to this vending machine. Well, not now, there's a person there. But before, he could have gotten to that vending machine and bought some heals. They could have gotten to like over where that Deku crate just spawned. This one, there's like a fair amount of coolers in that area that they could have gone to and gotten splashes from. But instead, they just chose to do nothing with this time. And unless they get a lucky refresh, they're probably going to lose. Like, it was a risk to go for those heals as well. But me personally, I would rather take somewhat of a risk and get what I need to win the game than kind of just exist here. I think this player is going to stall out and then eventually lose the game anyways. But we'll see. But I feel like this is just a situation that a lot of players find themselves in. And you watching the video might find yourself in this situation as well. Where, like, the game isn't in a great point and you don't really know what to do with yourself. And then you just kind of end up doing nothing. And then end up, like, losing slowly. You just got to kill on that person. He can maybe get those heals and refresh if he gets this player to leave or eliminates him. He's going to go on it. This is just a huge 50-50. He scared him off. I think he dropped back for the heals now. Or hit the vending machine and get heals there. Or hit the trailer park and get heals there. But instead he's chilled and not have health, I guess. I don't really know. And the game's over for them. Or it should be. This person is throwing. What am I watching? Okay, that person threw. I think we can all agree that they should have been dead there, right? That is wild. He had like 170 HP. The rocket hits him. That other guy just choked all his shots somehow. Now he gets chug splashes. This game might be winnable for them now. It's a 1v1. He's wasting splashes, but it's fine. Get that cooler there. Get even more splashes. I think the player that got eliminated there was way too like intent on using the thunder pump. Like I think they just sat there with their thunder pump out the entire time. I'm not really sure. Final player's rolling in on a car. Once again, this is a similar thing. This player's just going to run over all your cover here. You have to do something. But I feel like they're just going to wait until the last possible second to do anything. Oh no. Is this the dub right here? Oh, GG's. That was... I think they played that about as well as they could. This person's down to 59 health. But I think the way that Chica Skin played it was fine, honestly. That's not how I would have played it. But hammering them when they get out of the car and then hammering onto them with a Maven shotgun is just a very chaotic situation for this robber lady to deal with. And I feel like if the Chica maybe hit a little bit of better shots or maybe had like a slightly better shotgun or a slightly better SMG, then they probably win that. I feel like they definitely played to the Maven strengths in that situation. It's just kind of weird because they're kind of, I just thought they were kind of like one of those players that kind of does nothing and loses slowly, but they made a play there in the end. It just ended up costing them. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful, informative. If you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. I hope you guys enjoyed Chapter 4 Season 1. I did, and I'm really excited to see what they do in Chapter 4 Season 2.